Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Lucy. Today I am going to teach you 8 ways in which you can improve your listening skills, your English listening skills. Now, number 1 is take advantage of YouTube's subtitle system, but make sure you understand and use it properly. So in order to improve your daily English, the English that you'll use every day, I want you to find vloggers and kind of daily YouTubers that document their everyday life who actually add their own subtitles, vloggers that don't rely on the auto-generated subtitles. Nowadays, YouTube has some very, very good subtitle software, but it's never perfect. When I post a video, YouTube analyzes what I say and it posts what it thinks I've said as auto-generated subtitles. However, for every single video, I do pay for someone else to actually write the subtitles. And there are a couple of reasons why I do this. Number 1, I want correct spelling and grammar. YouTube software doesn't add in the correct punctuation and kind of commas and quotation marks and things like that, and that's important for you to learn. It's important for you to see where a sentence starts and ends and where there might be pauses. Also, sometimes the software just completely misses out words, it misspells things, it misunderstands what I've said. Sometimes it puts very rude things in place of what I've actually said. So I choose to buy my own subtitles, and a lot of creators do this, and a lot of vloggers do this, and it's very, very useful. In fact, on my own vlogging channel, where I've been documenting my life, my personal life on the farm in rural England, I do write the subtitles for you, so you know that what I'm saying on screen is what is also written on screen. How can you tell if the subtitles are trustworthy or not? Well, one indicator is the term auto-generated, which will come up if YouTube's AI system has developed the software. If you follow some vloggers that speak a native level of English, watch their videos with subtitles every week or every day, you will pick up on so much vocabulary that we use as natives in our daily lives. Number 2 is listen to a variety of accents and dialects. Now, I don't just say accents, I say dialects, because different parts of my country, England, have different dialects. So northern slang is very different to southern slang. In fact, British English is so unbelievably diverse. So for example, something as simple for me as a can of Coke, well, up north they might say a tin of Coke, when that would sound ridiculous for me. So to ensure that you understand everything that you listen to, or almost everything that you listen to, because let's face it, everything would be quite the challenge, because even I don't understand everything that I hear, you do need to listen to a variety of accents and dialects. The different sounds that they produce, the different common phrases that they use, and the different slang words as well are really, really important. And I have something in the pipeline that will massively help you with this. I'm going to talk about it more towards the end of this video. Number 3 is, of course, speak with natives, listen to natives and speak to them. But more than that, it's ask for repetition and ask for explanation. So you want to speak with natives, ask them to repeat things and ask them to explain and justify things. A lot of students ask me how they can find well-priced native teachers or native level teachers. Just because someone isn't native doesn't mean that they're not an excellent teacher. And this segment is sponsored by a company that I do genuinely highly recommend, and it's italki. italki is a huge online database of both native and non-native teachers who will give one-to-one video lessons with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from anywhere in the world, as long as you have a stable internet connection. And emphasis on well-priced teachers, it's incredibly affordable. It's much cheaper than an offline academy or an in-person tutor. The teachers set their own rates and you can browse all of them and find the rate that's best for you. And it's also really good if you just want to practice conversation and listening to someone talk and asking for them to correct your responses, because not only do they have qualified teachers, they also have community teachers who are there to practice conversation with you. Now, they've given me an offer to pass on to you. You can get $10 worth of italki credits in your student wallet 48 hours after making your first purchase of any amount. All you've got to do is click on the link in the description box and sign up. Those credits could actually be an entire lesson for free, or more than that actually. I've seen lessons for much less money than that. Also, if you are at home and you're finding yourself with a bit of extra spare time, for an extra motivational push, you can also sign up to their language challenge. This is where you take italki classes and win prizes along the way. This challenge starts on the 9th of April and lasts until the 24th of May. What you have to do is set yourself a language goal, and then you can earn vouchers, coupons, and entries into a huge prize draw where you can earn prizes of up to 500 italki credits. So once you've signed up to italki using the link down below, check out the language challenge page, set yourself a goal, and start earning those prizes. Right, let's move on to way number 4. Now, this is a really simple way of making native speech easier to understand. It's so simple, I can't believe that people still aren't taking advantage of it. Do you know about YouTube's slowdown function? Now, when I look at videos that are explaining something technical, like how to use my new washing machine or why my Hoover isn't sucking, sometimes I find the person takes ages to get to the point or to explain something, so I speed them up. I click on the little cog and then I click on playback speed and I put them at 1.25 times speed or 1.5 if I'm feeling really energetic. However, the slowdown function would be really, really useful for language learners. You can slow down speech to 3/4 of the natural pace, 0.75 speed. If you're watching a video and you're interested in what that person is saying, but they are just speaking too quickly, try that 0.75 speed. Now, 0.5 tends to be too slow. The person sounds drunk or deranged. But 0.75 for a very fast talker can actually be really, really helpful. Even for me as a native speaker, there are some people that just go blah, 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 and I find it hard to follow. So if there's a vlogger or a narrator or a presenter that you have shunned in the past because they speak too quickly, try watching them on YouTube, try slowing them down and let me know what you think. What would be even better is if they had their subtitles added as well, so you can watch them in slow speed without subtitles and then watch them again with subtitles, but more about that later on. Now, number 5, this is a really common listening tip, but I'm going to talk about it because I've got something extra to add. It is watch English movies and TV shows. Now, we all know this is one of the first tips that teachers will give you, but it can be really, really hard and really daunting to try and work out which TV show and which film is going to be at your level. It's so annoying to finally find something that you want to watch after reading loads of reviews and then you just can't understand it. It's also really annoying when your computer or your network won't allow you to access certain films and TV shows because of where you live, because your country is not allowed to view that specific website. I have got a video coming next week on my recommendations for British TV shows. And I start with beginner level, I move to pre-intermediate, intermediate, and advanced. I cover all the bases, and they're all shows that will help you develop a British English accent and help you understand it as well. I'll also talk about the variety of British English accents as well. Now, when this video is live, I will link it in the description box, so check that out. Because I want to help you find something that you can actually watch and understand, and then you can move up through the levels. Number 6 is learn responses that will buy you more time. Because when we are listening to what someone is saying in a language that is not our first language, we do need that little bit of extra time to process what they're trying to say. I have a couple of tricks and phrases that will buy you more time, things that you can say without seeming like a strange person going, because that is what a lot of English learners do. It's a natural thing to want to fill the gap by just making one noise, like and you also don't want to just fill it with silence, because that can be awkward. That person might think that you've not heard them, when really you've just not understood them. What you want to do is fill the conversation with fillers or interjections. And I've made various videos on this topic. I did a great one with Harry from Real English with Real Teachers on interjections, things like ooh or ish. I will link that down below. And also last week I did post a video on different ways to say I know and I understand, because those are very commonly used in conversation whilst you're processing what someone has said, or you're just showing that you've understood and acknowledged what they've said. Again, I will link that. I think both of those videos would be really, really useful. They will give you phrases that you can use to buy more time whilst you're processing speech. Number 7 is listen whilst you read. Listen whilst you read. Now, I talk about this a lot in my videos because it really, really works. I'm always talking about listening to audiobooks as you read the actual book. And I'm not just saying this for fun. This is genuinely such a good method. It trains your brain to connect written words with spoken words. It helps improve your pronunciation, it helps improve your listening, it helps improve your spelling as well. The way a word is spelt in English doesn't necessarily give you any indication as to how it's pronounced in English, and the way a word is pronounced in English doesn't really help you work out how that word is spelt. This is why English seems like such a hard language to understand when you're listening to it, and such a hard language to pronounce, because you look at a word and you just have no idea how it should be pronounced. If you take a book that you have already read in English, or a book that you would like to read in English, and read that book as you are listening to that same audiobook version, your problems will be solved. Now, it's important to find a narrator you like, and this is why I always recommend Audible. Audible is an amazing platform for audiobooks. They have the most incredible selection, and you can also listen to quite lengthy samples, so you can work out if you like the narrator's accent, if you like the speed at which they speak. You can also slow them down, and you can speed them up if you feel like you need to. And the best part is you can get one free audiobook. That's a 30-day free trial on Audible, and you just have to click on the link in the description box to sign up. And there I've put some recommendations for great books as well, audiobooks to listen to, and their written book counterparts. It's a great method. That's why I talk about it all the time. Now, the last tip, number 8, is to create your own transcription exercises. You know those annoying, horrible listening tests where you have to fill in a gap or write what you hear? Unfortunately, they work. However, we want to do something that's relevant for us, don't we? So if you find something that is particularly interesting to you, maybe you're interested in photography and it's about cameras, maybe you're interested in wildlife or skateboarding, I have no idea, but everybody has their thing, don't they? I personally love cooking and gardening. Well, if you find something that's very, very interesting to you, create your own listening exercise, because it won't be so boring and painful. This exercise is all about listening blindly, meaning that you are not looking at any visuals, so you don't see their mouth moving, you don't see their emotion, nothing. And you definitely don't look at any subtitles. Take one sentence, or if you're feeling more advanced, you can take a couple of sentences and listen to it once. Then you can listen to it for a second time, and then you have to write down exactly what you've heard or what you think you've heard. After that, you can listen to it one more time, and you can look at the transcription or the subtitles, make sure they are accurate. And there you have it. You've created your own transcription exercise using something that is relevant and interesting to you. The reason why these sorts of exercises are included in so many different examinations by so many different prestigious examination boards across the globe is because they really, really work. So if you can get into the habit of every time you're listening to something interesting and you know there are reliable transcriptions or subtitles available to you, If you do this and make it a habit, you really, really will learn so much and you'll get so used to analysing things from a listening perspective. Right, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and I definitely hope you take some of my advice. Please feel free to add any more advice so we can all learn from each other in the comments section. And don't forget to check out italki. You can click on the link down below and get your $10 worth of italki credits, and you can start the language challenge. Don't forget to connect with me on all of my social media. I've got my Facebook, I've got my Instagram, and I've got my Twitter. And I've got my personal channel with fully subtitled vlogs of my life here on a farm. I do lots of cooking, I do lots of walking, I do lots of chatting and just organising my home. It's meant to be relaxing for you, and I've had quite positive feedback so far, so I hope you enjoy it as well. I will see you soon for another lesson. Mwah.